Hey everyone, and welcome back. Coping is defined as the thoughts and behaviors mobilized to manage internal and external stressful situations. It is a term used distinctively for conscious and voluntary mobilization of acts, different from defense mechanisms that are subconscious or unconscious adaptive responses. The term coping describes intentional or inadvertent methods of lowering negative feelings. Coping mechanisms might be social or individual, mental or behavioral. Coping is the ability to manage and get past obstacles in life. People can preserve their emotional and mental health by doing this. Resilience, or continuing to be able to handle stress on a daily basis, is key to coping. It's about the imperative need to find temporary refreshment and solutions to escape the stresses of life. In order to bring about lasting change, healing entails identifying and treating the underlying sources of our stress. Unfortunately, when faced with unpleasant feelings, people frequently resort to ineffective or even harmful coping mechanisms. Although these may offer short-term respite, they usually exacerbate issues over time. Well-developed coping mechanisms can promote both our physical and mental well-being. Issues like anxiety, despair, and even physical health problems can be brought on by inadequate coping mechanisms. The goal of coping techniques is to steer clear of stressful situations or uncomfortable feelings. These actions might be either maladaptive or adaptive, which is good. While emotion-focused coping assists you in altering your response to stressors, problem-focused coping seeks to remove or modify the source of your stress. The benefits of mental health coping skills. Everyone experiences emotional strain. Stress can come from a variety of sources, such as hard work and interpersonal issues, and it's common to feel low and find life challenging. Additionally, mental health coping techniques are crucial to assisting everyone in getting through these trying times, even if you do not have a behavioral health illness. However, those who already have mental health conditions should pay special attention to developing mental health coping skills. Managing everyday life can cause emotional stress for those who have mental health disorders, making it extremely challenging to maintain composure and make wise judgments. Gaining coping mechanisms for the symptoms of your mental illness is crucial to living a well-rounded, productive life. What are coping skills for mental health? Everyone uses coping skills on a regular basis to deal with both favorable and unfavorable external circumstances. Having coping skills enables you to accept, reduce, and manage stressful circumstances in your life. Effective stress management can improve your physical and psychological well-being and have a positive effect on your productivity. You can deal with issues brought on by mental health concerns by using mental health coping skills. Problem-centered coping and emotion-centered coping are the two primary categories of coping strategies. Knowing how they vary can assist you in choosing the most effective coping mechanism. Problem-centered coping comes in handy when you need to make changes to your life, like getting rid of something stressful. Take the case of an unhealthy relationship. Getting rid of that poisonous influence in your life will help you feel less stressed. Problem-centered mental health coping strategies address environmental and interpersonal elements that can negatively impact your mental health. When you're unable to alter the stressors in your life, such as the loss of a loved one, You can manage your emotional well-being by using emotion-centered coping techniques. When it's necessary to look after your emotional health, you employ emotion-centered coping techniques. It's critical for those with mental health conditions that result in ongoing stress to develop emotion-centered coping mechanisms. Good versus bad coping mechanisms. Everybody manages stress in a different way. Some find solace in their hobbies, while others find solace in exercising or in the company of their pets. These are a few instances of healthy coping strategies, constructive and constructive responses to life's challenging circumstances. But not every coping strategy is advantageous. Unhealthy coping strategies include relying on self-destructive activities, substance misuse, or self-harm. Bad coping mechanisms are one kind of avoidance, which is a characteristic that most PTSD sufferers share. They could offer a little sense of emotional stress relief, but in the end, they stand in the way of leading a normal life. When one has effective coping mechanisms for mental health issues, the issue is handled in a way that lessens. Many individuals who battle mental illness learn maladaptive coping mechanisms as a way to manage their emotional triggers. Unlearning negative habits can be challenging for anybody, but it can occasionally feel unachievable for those who use negative mental health coping mechanisms to handle their mental illness. An expert mental health treatment program can assist in offering the resources required to bring about long-lasting constructive transformation. How to acquire healthful coping techniques. A behavioral health program could be beneficial for those who find it difficult to overcome undesirable behavioral disorders on their own. You will meet with mental health specialists in a behavioral health program to talk about the mental health problems you are experiencing. Gaining mental health coping skills can benefit from working with a therapist. Together, you will design a unique therapy program to support the growth of your constructive coping mechanisms. A therapist may assist you in determining the most significant obstacles in your life, processing your emotions and ideas, and coming up with constructive methods to react to unfavorable situations. Cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is one of the most effective treatments for mental health recovery. The goal of cognitive behavioral therapy is to help patients learn appropriate coping mechanisms for the emotional triggers that lead to undesirable behavior. Patients are encouraged by CBT to revisit unhealthy coping mechanisms and swap them out for more beneficial ones. The advantages of dual diagnosis care. Abuse of drugs or alcohol is very prevalent in the mental health community. Half of all individuals with mental health illnesses also have substance addiction disorders at some point in their lives, according to the National Institute for Mental Health. Substance misuse and other dysfunctional coping mechanisms for mental illness can feel relieving at first, but they have negative long-term effects. Positive coping mechanisms can be acquired through mental health programs. Although drug use and emotional regulation are closely related in individuals with co-occurring mental health and substance misuse disorders, dual diagnosis therapy can be beneficial for patients with co-occurring disorders. Dual diagnosis therapy combines addiction and mental health services into one program, addressing both substance misuse and mental health concerns. Programs for dual diagnosis aim to address addiction and the underlying mental stress that gives rise to it. No matter which issue may have preceded the other, the best approach to ensure you're treating all the issues that can lead to a drug misuse or mental health problem is to enroll in a dual diagnosis treatment program. Integrated treatment plans including group psychotherapy, education on mental illnesses, 12-step programs, relapse prevention, and other services are provided by dual diagnosis programs. Thank you for taking time to watch this, and please remember to like and subscribe. Take care of you or find someone who does.